Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Trader to the Living here in the studio this morning. I wanted to talk about the recent Roger Linn video. Know I'm a little late to it. Is about a week ago. Unfortunately, with work and life, sometimes I can't make the video as quick as I would like to. Time is my enemy and worth more than money when it comes to studio time and creativity, but thankfully it's Sunday and I get some time. I'm here with the Linstrument.
You were recruited by the Starling to
defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
And the MPC X. Now, if you didn't see it, Roger Linn made a video last Sunday, a week ago today. He was sent a MPC by American Akai. Now, if you don't know anything about the history, Roger Linn himself is the man, the myth, the legend.
People have been making music for a long time, with sticks and with skins, with bows and with strings. Our need to create has not changed, but technology has continued to evolve. Technology has just taken a giant leap forward. Hello, I'm Roger Linn, and this is the MPC 60 MIDI Production Center, created by myself and Akai Professional.
Creator of the Linn drum, the original MPC. He's done the Tempest, the Adrenaline, the Linstrument. He's just he's the man when it comes to creating and designing musical gear and equipment. And years ago, he had a big falling out with Akai. It's been somewhat documented. He spoke on it before. It wasn't good. He kind of got burned, from what I understand. And it was really interesting to see him with a modern MPC. Now, there's been a lot of debate this last year and a half since the MPC X SE came out, on the converters, the sound, all these things. People have been very critical. Watching Roger talk about, they sent him an MPC Live 2, which I know a lot of people were kind of criticizing. Why the Live 2? Maybe he asked for that one. Who knows? We don't know. But it's interesting. He spoke highly of it, and he had a lot of good things to say. It's kept a lot of his original features that he implemented on the original MPCs. It was very kind of positive video that he made about it, which you would think in a lot of ways would shut down some of the criticism and the hating on the new modern MPCs, but that's not the case. And I've seen a lot of things. Now, you know me, I'm a big fan of the MPC. I saw this morning Synth Samurai is going to sell his MPC. Big mistake, brother, big mistake. Now, if it doesn't work for you, it's not for everyone. The workflow does take some getting used to, and you have to like it. For me personally, I'm a huge fan. I use the MPC all the time.
It was foretold by witches. It was conceived through sorcery. And it was to be destroyed by all that is evil.
And I've done, and I don't just do hip hop, boom bap, and rap, hip hop style beats or anything like that. I do full on electronic music. A lot of the videos and music that I've put on the channel were all started and the bare bones of it were made on the MPC for the most part before it was brought into the DAW. Also the electrons, I use them together in a symbiotic relationship. So anyhow, there's been a lot of, I've seen a lot of negativity towards Roger Linn in this video that I just feel is ridiculous. To call a man and a legend like Roger Linn a shill, or that he's just getting paid to say this stuff. I just don't see Roger doing that. In my opinion, he spoke truthfully of what he thought of it. And he had a Linstrument in the video. I'll put a link to Roger's video down at the bottom of this. He had his Linstrument hooked up with the MPC Live 2. Now, there's been, like I said, so much criticism and people very negative. I know Paulie Popo, shout out Paulie Popo, great dude. I really like Paulie. He's been championing the MPCs for years and a big time user. And he's kind of over this last year gotten on that train of being really down on just Akai in general and the modern MPCs. He might have some reasons that I'm not aware of why he's kind of seems a little bitter towards Akai. But I love you, Paulie. You're a great dude. And we're all entitled to our opinions. I just differ. Now, it's the sound that everybody criticizes. Now, the MPC X SE does have, is it Bill Burr? What are the, I'm forgetting. I apologize. But it's got different converters from the original X. And I think it sounds killer. Now, you can do a lot of processing and EQing in the MPC itself to get a better sound. There's effects and things you can do to beef up the sound. I personally use the Electron Analog Heat. I also run it through the SP404 and then some outboard equipment. Sometimes I'll put it through preamps, use other effects, and then use the converters on my Arturia Audio Fuse Studio, which I think are fantastic. The preamps on there. But let's talk about the MPCs. Now, I'm going to talk about the MPC XE and why I think it's the GOAT.
Who wants the first one? You, amigo? How about you, huh?
A lot of people probably have a problem with that, but in this modern time of samplers available at this very moment, I don't think there's anything that compares to the MPC. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's not a professional, we need a professional sampler. And I just think that that's, that's an opinion people have. And it's got all the built-in sounds and things. And some people, I know the Daydream Sound, who, if you don't know the Daydream Sound and you're into sampling, you are blowing it. You need to go follow his channel. Go to the daydreamsound.com and sign up for NTSC Pal, which is his where all of his main videos go now. It's just tons of hours of just amazing videos on sampling and techniques. He's the guru, the man when it comes to sampling, and he's a fantastic teacher. So go check him out. Go to. I'll put a link to his channel and to his website down here. If you're into sampling at all, I highly recommend that you check out the Daydream Sound. But I know he's not a fan of all the built-in. That it's not. They've kind of gone away from the older MPCs in the fact that they have, synthesizers and all this stuff in there, built-in sounds. And I understand that. For me, I don't even use a lot of that stuff. It's just really easy to ignore all that and to focus on just what the machine does, which it's a sampler. One is the main thing. The build quality of it, I think, is excellent. It's weighty. It's metal. It's just a fantastic device. Now, I started on the MPC-1 of these newer MPCs, and that one's a little cheaper. It's plastic. It's it's very limited. It doesn't have all the Q links and the little displays that tell you what's going on, which makes the workflow on the XSE much better, much better, much faster. It's just an absolute beast of a sampler. And I think the most professional one that's available right now.
Hey, look out! Oh, dear.
That's a dedicated sampler. Now there's other things like the Quantum and certain things that can sample that are, you know, that have some stuff in it that the MPC doesn't. But this is a sampler, not a synthesizer. So, and a drum machine. But you hook up a MIDI keyboard to it, or in this case, the instrument, and it's just, it's hard to argue that there's anything out there better at the moment. Now, could it be better? Absolutely. Are there features I would like to see? 1000%. I'm not a huge fan of the song mode on it. I think that could be improved. Marlo Diggs just spoke on this recently, and I 1000 agree that the song mode could be very much improved upon, and that's a feature I'd really like to see. A lot of people who say, you know, it's a DAW in a box. Yes and no. I mean, it doesn't have an arranger view. It doesn't have a lot of features that a DAW has, but for working in standalone, there's really nothing that can touch it. Now, there's samplers like the Octatrack, which I have, that do things that you can't do on the MPC. I would put maybe the next closest thing to being on par with the sequencing capabilities, because other than sampling and what you can do with chopping and time stretching and all the features that you can do, is super fast, intuitive way to do it. So like the Octatrack versus the MPC, the Octatrack's workflow is a little bit more cumbersome, but yet has its benefits and amazing things that it can do. I'm happy to have both of them. I feel like I have a complete palette to work with of anything I want to do. I also have the Digitact. I've got the ASRX Pro. I've got a few other samplers. You know, I've got an assortment. Why so much hate on the MPC? Why do people say it's not a professional machine?
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Didn't mommy and daddy show you enough attention when you were a child?
There's criticisms, and I get that, but for this time period that we're in right now, there's nothing I think that's better than the MPC X Special Edition. I think it's the champ, the GOAT. We will hopefully see something here in the future that will be better, but I'm set with this. Paired with a instrument, it's fantastic. I wish it did have MPE capabilities inside of it, but that's okay because I can use the PC and sample the MPC stuff or the MPE things that I play off of, say, Pigments or whatever I'm using into the MPC, and then make tracks off of that. But yeah, Roger Linn's video, it was very interesting. It was super cool to see him with a modern take on his original creation, and I feel like he spoke nothing but truth during that video. And I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some kind of collaboration with him and Akai in the future on something. Would be super cool to see an MPE. The technology's gone through with the instrument to go with the MPC line. I just wanted to come on and talk about it a little bit. I thought it was really interesting. It kind of shook up a lot of people. No! It was kind of, to me, just shut down that whole argument that the new MPCs are not good professional samplers.
And literally, fuck your own face!
This is all just my opinion. I don't expect everyone to agree, and I know they won't. And the instrument itself is a fantastic pairing with anything. I'm a huge fan. Anything Roger develops in the future, I will be highly interested in and want to explore. So yeah, good stuff. Go check that video out. I hopefully don't anger anybody with my opinion. Again, this is just all subjective opinion. Doesn't mean that anybody's right or wrong on these things.
I'm in the dark here. Do you understand? I'm in the dark.
Some people can say, oh, well, your ears are bad. You know, you can't hear that it doesn't sound as good. And like I said, I process it through analog equipment and outboard equipment. But I do think just on its own, it has a crisp, clear sound that I like to start with my sounds. I don't want to be colored. I have other samplers, the ASRX Pro and things that I use to get this, you know, color sounds with. I use outboard equipment. I think it sounds much better than the Octatrack does on its own. I think that the sound out of the Octatrack is nowhere near as good as the Digitact and not as good as the MPC XSE. Now, I have noticed a difference with the converters on this and the sound of the SE to my MPC-1. I did a little A and B test. Maybe I'll do a video on that of just a drum beat, a loop, and I think it sounds better, the SE. So they did do something with using those newer converters. And if you don't believe me that it has the different converters, that was confirmed by Black Lion Audio. You can check that out. But yeah, guys, Roger Linn, the MPC, we may see a new era here, but all the hating, the build quality is fantastic. The synthesis capabilities in the MPC, the envelopes, the LFOs, the EQs, what you can do with the sample is miles beyond anything that is available right now, in my opinion. Now, there's other cool things out there. There's the Deluge. There's other good samplers, you know, but I think the champ right now that's available is the XSE, and it's the most professional sampler you can possibly get, in my opinion.
Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you watching. Hope everyone's doing fantastic out there, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.